YouTube? My name is Lisa and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. Long time no motherfucking see from me to you, because I've been posting here and there, you know. But as you guys saw, I had my baby, just crazy. So I wanted to drop this little story time update video before we hop back into the vlogs, because these past 2 months have been like a life-changing journey. As you guys know, if you watch my videos, I ramble a lot, but I'm gonna try to be organized mentally. It feels weird to film because I haven't filmed since the labor and delivery video, and I didn't even film a lot. First of all, I want to say I'm sorry that I didn't really like film a lot of my labor and delivery, but it was just such a crazy experience that like I was expecting it to be like crazy, but not as intense as it was. If I sound a little stuffy, I'm just like coming off of a cold right now. So yeah, before we hop to this video, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel because we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Right now I just ordered me some McDonald's. I don't feel like leaving the house right now, so we're gonna hop into this labor and delivery story time. If you guys watched, I think my second to last video, I was scheduled to be induced May 9th and my due date was May 8th. This is crazy because like my son literally turned 2 months yesterday. I gotta refresh my memory. I have notes, yeah, on my laptop that I wrote down. I was like, there has to be points that I could forget. So if you see me looking over here, yeah. So I had my very first contraction on May 4th and it was just like 1, and I was like, ooh, okay. That felt a little weird, but then time went on. I didn't really have any consistent contractions, but May 6th at 6 p.m. was when I first started tracking them. So that's when I count that like my labor started, because I count it as when I started tracking it because it was coming consistently. So May 6th, I started contracting, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give birth the next day. May 6th to May 9th, that sleep was terrible. I was moaning and groaning. I was tossing and turning in bed. Like it was hurting me, but it wasn't like too bad, but it was like, ugh. So the 7th, I spent the whole day just like trying to find stuff to do at home. To be honest, I don't think I was in the best headspace at the time when I was giving birth. My pregnancy, I had a lot of ups and downs like in my personal life. If you guys have been watching my videos, you guys know like about my living situation. I gave birth, people's things are still here. My home is not how I want it to be, which you guys are gonna go along that journey because my man and I have started looking at stuff, and he said I have full creative control, so he just wants some posters here and there. Perfect. So yeah, we're gonna get started on fixing up the apartment and stuff soon, so I'm excited about that. It's a long time coming because in October it makes a year of me living here, and the only thing that we purchased like for us furniture wise is our bed, and then the baby stuff, of course we had to like pause on the home stuff. So anyways, I start rambling. Yeah, the 7th I was like doing random shit, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for a walk, because I try to go on walks, I try to drink my teas, I try to do all of that stuff, and nothing was progressing the contractions. So I think it was on the 7th or on the 6th or on the 5th, I don't know, one of those days I got really fucking irritated, and then my contractions just like stopped for an hour, and then yeah, I remember. So yeah, I don't remember which day it was, but I know that my contractions stopped because I got like really irritated, and I didn't know that stress could decrease the contractions or like make them stop or whatever, because people were just like pissing me off. And honestly, during my pregnancy a lot of things pissed me off. Anyways, so on the 7th, yada, I ended up going to my mom's house just to chill over there, to spend some time over there. Even though I was like contracting here and there, I was like, oh, maybe I'm not gonna give birth now, my due date is tomorrow, but I'm scheduled for the next day induction, whatever. As I'm driving, I get a contraction. I'm like, ooh, and I think nothing of it. I'm like, okay, maybe whatever. I am in my mom's house, and she's like, do you want to go to the hospital? She told me like, oh, I didn't look like I was going into labor, like I looked fine, but she could tell like that when the contractions hit me, it was hurting. So I was like, I don't know what to do because it's my first baby. He's napping right now. It's funny. Yeah, it was like to the point where like they were talking to me and I was holding onto the couch like, but I could still talk. So it was like, I was like, I can't be that far along, but they're starting to hurt. In my brain, I'm like, I gotta be like 4 or 5. So eventually I was like, let me call the hospital. So I ended up calling the labor and delivery department, and I was like, hey, like so and so is happening, my contractions are coming every 6 minutes, every 10 minutes, whatever. And they were like, if you feel like you can't take it no more, just come to the hospital and get checked. okay, and you could just get checked and whatever. So I was like, I'd rather be safe than sorry, because in my brain I'm like, oh, I'm progressing or whatever. Keep that in mind. So I call my man, I'm like, listen, we're gonna go scoop you up or we're gonna go to the hospital. Boom. So we rush over here to my house, and I just throw shit in a duffel bag. I had it like already like kind of packed, but I just needed like some pajamas, some socks or whatever, that like my man needed to bring some stuff. He didn't even pack a bag, because mind you, we're first time parents. He didn't know that we were gonna stay overnight. I don't know if like maybe his family members, his mom, sister never told him like, oh, when you give birth you stay overnight. I thought that was a given, you know, but not everybody knows that. So he didn't pack no clothes. I packed him like a toothbrush. Thank God I packed him a toothbrush and toothpaste. My nose is stuffed. I'm like congested, and it's really bothering me, because the more I talk, it's like I can't breathe. We get to my mama's car, we're driving, and I'm literally gripping onto the thing like, ooh, like it was hurting me. My man was like rubbing my shoulders, my back, and I was just not okay. I was not okay. When I tell you, I had a back labor, and it literally feels like somebody is going like behind you, squeezing you from the back and rolling to the front, and it's just like tight. That's the best way I can explain it, like a really, really, really tight hug. It hurts. Eventually we make it to the hospital. When we get in there, I'm like walking. The security is like, oh, are you good to walk? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, no, 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 because I guess they saw how I was walking, and they were like, no, they got me a wheelchair. I was like, I'm good to walk. And mind you, I wanted to walk a little bit because maybe like it would help. So whatever, they roll me to the labor and delivery place. They signed me in and stuff. The people, they got me on the phone with somebody, and I'm like as I'm contracting, I'm like trying to give them the information, whatever. They take me, what is it called, triage. So they put me in a room and they put me by myself. They're like, nobody can come in there until I get checked, which that didn't make any sense to me, because at least like I wanted one person in there while they were checking me, or like as I was going through the motions, because I was in fucking pain. My mom, my sister, and my man were in the waiting room, and I was in that room. When I came in, I think she checked my blood pressure, and she was like, all right, get like fully undressed. I thought like she meant like, you know, keep your bra and your panties on. Yeah, that's what I thought. No, she said like butt booty naked. I said, oh, okay. I'm thinking we just gonna we just checking my coochie. So what you check, what I need to be, but she was like, oh, like just in case you gotta go, you know, whatever. So everybody in that hospital was super nice. Time goes on. Let me do actually like, if you guys watch my labor and delivery video, I try to put like times on it so that it can make more sense in the timeline. So let's see. So I was at my mom's house at 10:07, and then we made it to the hospital around like 11ish. So I was in the triage room at 11:48. That's when I was waiting for them to check me or whatever. Mind you, I was alone this whole time. So from 11:48 until they checked me at 1:27 a.m., around 1:20, because this is when I recorded. So around 1:20 they checked me. So from let's say 11:40, let's say midnight, to almost 1:30, I was in there by myself laboring, and it was hurting so bad, and all I could do was just grip the sides of the beds. I didn't have anybody with me. I was on the phone with my sister for some portions of it, but like I just couldn't speak because I was in pain. Mind you, my room was the first room, like the waiting room right there. So I was screaming, or I was like moaning and groaning at this point, and you could hear me from the waiting room. So I feel like maybe like my mom was like, damn, like, you know, I wish I could do something about it or whatever. So I was there by myself until that time, and then the nurse finally came and checked me, and I was honestly scared for cervical checks. Hold on, he moving. You better not wake up now. But yeah, I was scared, but with the pain that I was feeling, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about this. So they checked my cervix. I was only 2 centimeters dilated. When I tell you, I looked at her and I said, huh? And she said, yeah, you're only 2 centimeters dilated. Props to everybody who does it naturally all the way, like no unmedicated, because baby, I could not. If that was 2 centimeters, I did not want to know what 10 centimeters felt like. She checks me and I'm like, okay, I guess like it is what it is. and she asked me, she's like, okay, do you want to go home and just like labor on your own some more, or we can admit you now, just if you want that epidural, we can give you the epidural, we'll admit you and get things going. But since it's my first time, I was like, okay, can I just make a quick phone call? Why the fuck did I ever say let me make a quick phone call? Because the lady, she left, she said okay. She left and never came back. I never saw that nurse again, like the rest of my time there. If I knew at that moment I wanted the epidural, but I wanted to ask my mom her opinion, ask my man what should we do, like are we gonna go, should we go home and labor some more there, whatever. I didn't know. In that moment I was like, okay, I need a second opinion. So I called my mom, and they were like, if you feel like you can't take it, just get the epidural. I'm like, okay. I'm sitting there waiting for the person. Mind you, I didn't know there was like a help button this whole time. Nobody informed me of that until I got into the actual labor room. I didn't know there was like a help button, okay? So I'm just sitting there waiting, and then eventually I think the front desk lady, she gets my man in the room, because yeah, they checked me. So my man comes in the room, I tell him, oh, I'm only 2 centimeters dilated or whatever. Mind you, at this point we're all exhausted, so my man is like falling asleep on the chair. My sister, she been up like fucking all day. We're all tired, and me, I didn't sleep from the 6 p.m. all the way the 7th, all the way until that point. I barely slept because I was tossing and turning in bed. It was just not a good time, okay? Remember, the lady never came back. From 1:20 that I got checked until 5:30 in the morning, I labored all by myself. Thinking about it, it wasn't traumatizing. It was just like a damn, this really happened to me kind of thing. Sorry, I'm talking like serious. Usually my videos are more like upbeat and fun, but like, first of all, I'm tired. Let's keep that in mind. I just had a baby. I'm tired. I'm not doing the best mentally, but we'll get there. And yeah, I'm excited to film and stuff, don't get me wrong, but like, real things are happening. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and I'm going through stuff. Anyways, back to the story. So from 1:20 to 5:30 I got the epidural. During that time frame, I was in that room screaming, and I progressed from 2 centimeters to 5, almost 6 centimeters. That shit was the most painful thing that I possibly have ever experienced in my life. It was to the point I saw videos that were like, oh, just breathe through the contractions and just give in, let go. The first thing my body did was clench up. I was like, no, I was like this, mind you. So then after a while, my man, he's exhausted. There was only so much help that he could do. I was like, I need my sister in here, because she can my sister is really the only person that could get me straight. So I told him, I said, can you switch with my sister, you know, because they were only allowed one person in the triage room. Fine. So eventually they switched with my sister while I was like screaming and stuff. This is before I got the epidural. My sister held my hand like the whole time. I really deeply appreciate, because there was a point, oh, my battery about to die. So new battery. So there was a point, yeah, there was a point where I could speak through them from the 1:20 to the 5:30. We're talking about this time frame. So there was a point that I could speak through them, but then I realized like, oof, it's kind of like I definitely know that I am progressing, because it's hurting way more. I was like, ooh, it's kind of like really hurting. It's kind of like really hurting. It's kind of like I can't really speak. It's kind of like, yeah. So the crazy thing about contractions, like what do contractions feels like? It's like a buildup. It like starts slowly, and then it goes whoosh. It's like a big like wave. You ever see like the contraction charts? It goes like slowly, there's like a peak, and then it starts going back down. So them peaks, not good, not yummy, not fun at all. Mind you, all this time my water still hasn't broken, none of that. Let me see where my food is. I'm hungry. It became very difficult to like even breathe. So the nurses would come in, ask me questions like, oh, consent forms, whatever. I was just like thank God I got my sister there. I was like, yeah, whatever. Oh, when they put the IV in my hand, I didn't even feel it. I didn't feel it. I saw on TikTok, I was like, oh, that's just the most painful thing. Put yourself in a position where literally your vagina is opening. A fat ass head is trying to come out your coochie. You think a little poke is gonna... I didn't feel that shit, okay? So the IV, I didn't feel that shit. Oh, maybe I'm feeling better mentally, because I feel like I'm back to normal. I feel like maybe I'm getting the groove of the filming again. I just need to break the ice. I'm back, guys. I'm back. The first 15 minutes of this video, I'm back. It's me. Yeah, my sister was holding my hand. She was telling me like, I know. Bitch, you don't know. But I feel like she just didn't know what to do. She told me like I literally didn't know how to help you because there's nothing she could have done to help me. So I'm telling her like I feel like some pressure, like I definitely feel like I'm progressing. And she went out like 500 times to say like, hey, like the epidural, like yeah, whatever. We here on the fucking like speaker code blue or code something. It was code something. No, but there was no workers to be found. I think what had happened was that some lady, she came in and like she had given birth like immediately. Like she came in like immediately, so they needed all staff on hand, I guess. While I was screaming in the room, holding on, clenching my fists and everything, there was a point where my sister was like, sis, I really gotta pee. She was like please just stay here for 5 seconds, I really gotta pee. And I told her no. So she literally held, that's why I love my sister, she held her pee until I got the epidural. I felt bad, but like in the moment I literally said like, honestly no, like I really need you here because I could not take the pain. There was a nurse that came in, actually, I guess, mind you, remember the room was literally right there by the waiting area. So I guess this nurse, she came in and she was like, you need to try to breathe through them. Like, you got this, you need to try to breathe through them. So when she came in, she helped me like breathe and stuff. She was like, I know that it hurts like a bitch, but you need to try. So she held my hand and we breathed. She taught me how to like really breathe through them. That didn't mean that they didn't hurt, it just made the process a little bit easier. So if you can breathe through them, if you can't, I'm sorry. Hold on, my son is like moving. So yeah, I don't remember like the feeling. I know it still hurt. So yeah, I was still clenching my sister's hand and I was just like as much as I could, like that. Maybe I look funny doing that, but yeah, I was breathing. There was moments where like my sister was kind of scared because I think she thought that I was like not here fully, because after contraction, like I physically couldn't speak. Like I was just like this, like this. Like I couldn't open my eyes, I couldn't say anything. So yeah, and when they say, oh, you know when you're having contractions, trust and believe you know when you're having contractions, because that shit. But yeah, my sister, she was getting a little bit like, ooh, what's going on? Because yeah, like I said, during the breaks of the contractions, literally the 5 seconds that I had to breathe, I wasn't saying nothing. I was just shaking my head. I was like falling like this. I was weak, I was hungry, I was exhausted, just like all of the above. And I couldn't, like I physically couldn't say anything, do anything, whatever. All I was focusing on was trying to get some oxygen and resting in between the contractions. So yeah, he's looking like he gonna wake up soon. He just got his vaccines yesterday. Was it yesterday? What's today, the 10th? Oh no, he got it. Oh, my baby turned 2 months 2 days ago. Yeah, he got his 2-month vaccines and he's just been chilling. Anyways, so the anesthesiologist came in. They talking. I don't know what they talking about. He's like, okay, you gonna have to do this. Super nice. Everybody was super nice. But in the moment, I'm like, I don't like, I already said I want the epidural. I signed the consent. Like, just put that shit in my back. He was telling me how to sit. I literally, also, I didn't stand up this whole time that I was trying to labor, because I tried to stand up one time when my man was still in the room. Mind you, I was only 2 centimeters when my man was still in the room. Hell no. Hell no. Oh, I did go to pee. I went to pee, and that shit, I was screaming in the bathroom. Like, it was not a good time. Not a good time. I did go to pee. I tried to stand up and like have the contractions. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. That hurt more than laying down. I tried to like change position. No, I didn't like it. So yeah, so when he told me sit up like on the edge of the dash, I couldn't. So I had to like bend over. At this point, I was not scared of the epidural. I forgot that it was a fucking long needle. In the moment, I didn't give a fuck. I was just like, okay, like whatever. So I was like this. I held like a pillow like this, and I was hunched over, and my head was like inside of here because I was having contractions. So I literally told him like, I'm about to have a contraction. He's like, you gotta stay still. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay still. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna try my best. But I was screaming into the pillow. I didn't feel the epidural go in or nothing. And then I told him, I was like, oh, this is done. When I tell you guys I got immediate relief. If you want to do it naturally, like unmedicated, do you, boo. But when I tell you guys that epidural was magic, 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 magic. Oh, he should be coming soon. And I gotta eat before he wake up. I got the epidural at around like 5:30, and then I ended up taking a nap like immediately. So I think the next time I filmed was like at 7 something. I took a nap, and then I started feeling like wet. So my water partially broke. after I got the epidural. And then they checked me again and I was 6 centimeters. So I didn't like keep progressing at that moment. I guess those like 2 hours I was only 6. So that was fine. It's whatever. My baby's heart was beating, everything was good, nice and healthy. Oh, they didn't want to give me the epidural in the triage room, but they really had no choice because like I really needed it. I kept begging for it. I was like, I was telling my sister like, bro, you need to go tell them I need that. Okay, y'all, so my food came, so I'm gonna eat because I just got him to, I think, fall back to sleep. I'm gonna be right back with the story time. I think we left off, I don't know where we left off. I'm gonna eat. Bye. Okay, y'all, I'm back. So, oh wait, my mom let me pick my mom. She went to DR and I'm missing her. This mango tree. See the mangoes? Whoa. Anyways, he moving and grooving. I got him to go back to sleep, but I think he about to start waking up. Instant relief from the epidural. So then, whatever, boom. Time goes on and on and on and on. Okay, so I got the epidural 5:30. I stayed in, I took a nap, boom, they checked me, I was 6 centimeters. And then we went to the labor and delivery room at 9 a.m. And then they checked me and I think I was 8 centimeters. So I feel like I progressed pretty fast. Was I 8 centimeters? I think I was. Also, the epidural shakes, that was uncontrollable. It was like, oh, like I was cold, but I wasn't cold. It was weird. I felt like a crackhead. At 9 a.m., 8 centimeters dilated. So it was weird because like even with the epidural, I could feel like pressure, but you couldn't feel like the pain because they were like, oh, like if you feel when you get a contraction so and so. I'm like, I don't know when I'm having a contraction, which I'm so grateful for it. If you are scared of getting the epidural, just think about the medicine is there for a reason. Look, is the lighting like the lighting got kind of, I don't know, to me it's like off. What time is it? It's 2:59. Oh, it's early as fuck. I forgot that my days start earlier now. I'm not used to it. Whatever, we get to labor and delivery room, and then in my vlog, my dumbass, I was like, oh, they don't have a bed here. That's where you deliver, Lisa. It's not where you fucking recover. In the moment, I'm delirious, I'm tired, whatever. So don't even mind that in the video. So after a while, my man is sitting on a chair. He's knocked out. My sister is sitting on a chair. She's knocked out. My mom ended up going home around like, I think, yeah, before I got the epidural because she works in the AM. And I remember she had called my sister to like update and I was like screaming in the background. She was like, all right, like we'll talk later. So my mom ended up leaving because she would have been like stressing out instead of like, we would have both been like screaming and stressing out instead of like how my sister was like calming me down and stuff, because my mom is like, she doesn't want to see me in that kind of pain. For my next birth, I want her to be there so she can see the baby coming out. And I think that would be cool because my mom only has C-sections, so she didn't experience vaginal birth. So I wanted her to see it through me. That makes sense. So fast forward, at this point, I had like a mix of emotions. Like I was like kind of sad, kind of excited. I was nervous. I wasn't scared because I was like, I'm already here. I have to do this. But it was like, damn, like, you know, I just want my baby to be okay. I want to be okay. As time went on, there was like a lot of nurses and stuff. I don't remember nobody's name. They kept introducing themselves to me. Baby, I don't know the doctor's name that delivered my baby. I don't know nothing because I was not all the way there. So time goes on. They check me. I forgot at what time. Let me see. So I was 8 centimeters at 9 in the morning. And eventually I told my sister, like, I feel a lot of pressure. Like, I feel like I gotta take a shit, like, real bad. Like, real bad. So it was 11:30. So from 9 to 11:30, I went to 9.5 centimeters. And I felt like, damn, it's a lot of pressure. Oh, I forgot to mention, oh, first look of Love Island. Anyways, I'll see you in a second. So I forgot to mention, when I got the epidural and then my water broke, after a while, I started feeling like more liquid come out and there was like blood and I got like kind of nervous. So if you, again, like nervous, they told me that's normal and stuff. So it's just the blood coming out. But in the moment, I was scared. Anyways, 11:30, I got checked and I was 9.5 centimeters. When I tell you guys, the cervical checks didn't feel like, they were like a little uncomfortable and they didn't hurt. But this one, and I had that epidural, it felt like, I don't know what she was doing, but my sister said I felt like she put like this much of her arm in my coochie. That was the most uncomfortable thing. Like I could feel her going around my cervix, like around his head, and it felt like, it didn't hurt, but it didn't feel nice. It felt like like uncomfortable. She said there was like a little piece of my cervix left, so I guess she was trying to like carve it out, I guess. So 11:30, and then they said basically I should have this baby by 12. Yeah, my last update was at 11:33 before I had my baby, so it was kind of weird. When I was 8 centimeters, I was telling my man like I'm so excited. I started crying a little bit too, so I was like, he's coming, like my son is coming. Like a lot of emotions. So then after a while, when I was 9.5 centimeters, they told me when I feel contractions to kind of like start like pushing a little bit, like practice pushing and stuff. So I tried to do that as much as I could, and I couldn't really feel, so whatever. And after a while, everybody started coming in, like they had like a table, they started setting up here and there. I was like, whoa, like it's really happening. They were just telling me like, okay, this and this and this. One nurse was here holding this leg up. They had my sister holding my left leg up, and I had to hold underneath my thighs. My man was all the way in the back corner. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but I know that he wanted to watch him come out. Sometimes I wish like he was like next to me up here, but like I kind of am happy that he kind of was down there to see. So, but I know that he didn't want to get like in the way, but he was watching, so I'm happy for that. I'm excited about that. And yeah, I'm excited that my sister got to play a role in delivering my son. I really wanted like footage of like him coming out, just so I could see for myself like what it would look like for myself, because you know you could look up like vaginal birth and you'll see people's vaginas and their birth and stuff, but I don't want to see that. I wanted to see my own. Anyways, I can't go back in time. So she was saying when you have a contraction, no, when they lifted my leg up, his head was there already, and my sister said like it looked like a coconut coming out. So then I was pushing and stuff, and when I tell you guys, I was numb, I was hungry, tired, like not tired, exhausted. So like I didn't have the energy to push. So I think I pushed for like 20 minutes. Some people say that was pretty fast and stuff, but to me it felt like forever. Like it felt like I was pushing for forever. Like I was like, can he just come out? When I tell you guys, pushing was like the hardest part, I think, of the whole experience. The contractions were the contractions were really hard, but like they hurt really bad. But the actual pushing the baby out, like getting the head out, was a difficult task in my opinion. So, and it's not even, his head wasn't even big as hell. Yeah, they kept telling me like, you got this, you got this, you got this. I even like felt his head, and it felt nasty. Like I was like, ugh, like it just felt like wet hair, like it was nasty. But I'm just happy that I got to feel his head. So whatever. After a minute of pushing, I guess I was pushing when I wasn't supposed to be pushing, because she was like, just when you have a contraction. But got to a point where like his head was like halfway out, and baby, the ring of fire, that shit burnt. Like it just felt like my skin was like stretching. So I was like, whoa, I need him out. So I was just pushing. So I ended up getting a 2nd-degree tear, because I just kept on pushing. So anyways, pushing part was a little bit uncomfortable and a little bit painful. I got him out. As soon as his head flew out, his whole body flew out, and I felt like the relief. I was like, woo, the baby is out. So then they put him on my chest. He started crying, I started crying. Why am I about to cry? It was just like an amazing experience, to say the least. Like I'm so grateful that I got to experience that. Like giving birth was challenging, but like it was just such a beautiful experience, like to create life and to see him like come on me. And like first thing I thought was like who he looked like, because my man and I kept going back and forth like who he's gonna look like, and I feel like he's just like a beautiful mix of both of us. But like in the moment I was like, this little baby don't look nothing like me. Like that's crazy. Like I wasn't upset about it. I was just like, I can't believe like you can go 9-10 months growing like someone, and for them to not look like you at all. Anyways, he was a newborn. Obviously he had to grow into his features anyway, so he's growing into his features obviously. But it's just like funny, like in the moment I was like, I wonder what he looks like, because I couldn't really see him because they had him so high on my chest. So I was just like, I can't see you. Then the doctor was asking about the umbilical cord, if they wanted my man to cut, if I wanted my man to cut it, or if I wanted to cut it myself, because it's like, she was giving me like a speech about like woman empowerment. Basically like we go through all of this you know, this whole journey. We push the baby out and stuff, and then like, you know, it's like empowering to cut the own umbilical cord. But I really wanted that experience for my man to have that experience to cut his son's umbilical cord. So it's our first baby, it's his first son, so it's like, I don't know, I wanted him to have that moment. So he cut the umbilical cord, and maybe the next baby I'll cut it. Maybe if my mom is there, I'll let her cut it. Like, it's just cool. So yeah, he was on my chest for a good minute. She kept like rubbing him and stuff, like, I guess because his color, I think he was like a little blue purple, but he was good. Like, obviously he's good. But yeah, it's crazy. I asked like, oh, did I tear? And nobody like answered my question. So I'm like, okay, let me just keep enjoying this moment. And then I don't know what, she's like, oh, you did tear. And she's like sewing me up. She didn't say how many stitches she was giving me or nothing. She was like, I didn't count the stitches, I was just repairing. She said some piece was out, she fixed it, whatever. Okay, babes, because I looked down there and it looked normal to me. I know some people, like, when they tear, like, they stitch them up like every which way. She looking normal to me. She looking mighty cute to me. Yeah, she stitched me up, and it felt a little bit uncomfortable. Like, I could feel her stitch. It didn't hurt, but I could feel like the, so I was like, ugh. After a while, they let me stay with my baby for like a good minute. Yeah, they let me stay with my baby on my chest for a good minute. Later on, they came and they weighed him, and he was only 6 pounds and 3 ounces. My belly was huge. I felt heavy as fuck. I guess I just had a lot of water, a lot of fluid, a lot of stuff. But he was only 6 pounds. I thought he was gonna be like maybe 7, close to 8 pounds. But I'm grateful, because imagine an 8-pound baby. If I already got a 2nd-degree tear, imagine with the bigger baby. I feel like I would have gotten a bigger tear. After I gave birth, he was like lifting his head up a little bit, like, it was crazy. It was cool. I don't think that we tried to latch him on in that moment. I honestly don't remember very clearly that moment, because it was just like such a surreal moment. Like, I was like, I just gave birth. I don't remember much. I just remember when they weighed him. Let me actually see what time they weighed him. He was born at 12:32 p.m. Yeah, they weighed him at 1:55 p.m. Damn, that was a minute. No, she was. So I don't remember what in between the time of when he was born to when they weighed him. All I remember was that they sewed me up. My man cut the umbilical cord, and it was just like, he was just on my chest crying. Oh, I remember. After she weighed him and stuff, or was it before? I don't know. I know that she gave him a bath, and it was so cute and exciting. Then, you know, obviously, she put the clothes on him and swaddled him. It was just like, not like a full clothes. It was like a jacket. With his diaper, she swaddled his ass, put his hat on, and then yeah, that's what happened. And then we went to the recovery room. I ended up getting a fever after I gave birth, so I was on antibiotics for that and stuff. We stayed in the hospital for 2 nights because they were checking my fever, checking if the baby had pooped and peed and stuff. He pooped more than he peed, because you know, like the yellow line turns blue. But he pooped. That first poop was like gross. It's black and sticky. I put it in my labor and delivery video, something called, it's with the M. And I was just like, when I first saw that, I said, and then, you know, she told me like, oh, that's normal, that's this, you know, educating me. I asked so many questions and stuff, because obviously it's first time mom, I ain't know shit. So yeah, the recovery room was really cute and like small, not small, but like, it was cute size. They taught me how to, I'm so great. Let me stop the story right now. I'm so grateful for the hospital, the staff, the labor and delivery staff, everybody, the recovery team, everybody that was in the hospital. I'm so grateful for them, because they were so nice to me. Every question that I had, they answered it. They didn't look at me like I was stupid, you know, because some people, you know, some people are just mean. And everything was just so good. So obviously I had the IV on my hand and I had to pee, and obviously I was bleeding. So they taught, because when I was going from the delivery room to the recovery room, the lady had put all of the stuff, like the pads and stuff, on me, so I didn't do it myself. When I had to pee, there was like 2 people that came in the bathroom with me. They supplied me with the underwear, the pads, Dermaplast. They gave me Dermaplast. They gave me a Perry bottle. So I did bring my own Perry bottle that my friend bought me, but I didn't end up using it until I got home. I don't think I used anything. Yeah, she got me a whole like postpartum recovery kit. I used one of the pads in the hospital, but it was very bulky, and so it was just like a little bit uncomfortable for me. What I will say, the Freedom Mom boy shorts disposable bottoms, that for sure is a must. I wore the hospital ones for like the first day, couple of hours. I only had 4 of the thingies, so I think for the first day I wore the hospital ones, and then like the second day I wore the disposable ones. I didn't like change them all the time, because you put the shorts on and then a pad on, and then the Dermaplast or whatever on top of the pad, so the blood doesn't even go on the shorts. So I just, since I wasn't showering anyway, I just kept like taking the pad off. You feel what I'm saying? Taking the pad off and reusing the boy shorts at least like for 2 bathroom sessions. And yeah, then yeah, they came in the bathroom, they helped me. I like spilled blood everywhere. I was like, I'm so sorry. Oh, speaking of that, back to when I was delivering. So she put the catheter in me. I didn't feel it at all go in, and I didn't feel when they took it out either. She told me like, oh, I'm gonna take it out when you're gonna start pushing. So okay, I didn't feel that shit, because with the baby coming out, I didn't feel that shit. But what I will say, that I feel like what happened to me after the catheter, I feel like my bladder was like uncontrollable. Like I'd be like, oh damn, I gotta pee. I would have to run to the bathroom. As soon as I pulled my bottoms down, I was already like peeing on myself. So that, it was like that. I think even a couple days after I got home, like my bladder was just like really not controlled. Anyways, moving forward, so I made a mess. They were like, it's fine. They were teaching me how to use everything. The hospital supplies everything that you need. Well, mine did at least. They had all the stuff, and then they would come again, check the drawers, see if you need to restock on the items, everything. So they had everything. For the baby, they had everything. They even had extra clothes, the little sweaters that they had, extra blankets to swaddle them, lots of diapers, lots of wipes. They had a lot of shit in there. Then there was actually a bed there for my man. But yeah, I had a fever, so they gave me antibiotics, and they gave me painkillers for my tear. It didn't hurt, but it did feel sore. So that was that. So my 2 nights there, my first night with the baby was kind of like whoa, because I was already exhausted, but it was like weird, crazy experience because I didn't sleep at all. But before that, the hospital food, the first thing they gave me was salmon. Like the meal was good. They gave me salmon, they gave me veggies, juice, snack fruits, like all of the stuff. Like it was more than I expected. Hospital food was good as fuck. I don't know what people talking about. Well, maybe my hospital, I don't know what people was talking about. Oh, the hospital food disgusting, blah blah blah. My hospital food was good as good. Anyways, my man only went outside one time for me to get hot dogs because I wanted hot dogs. Other than that, my sister came, she got me a sandwich. But even before that, I ate hospital food. They gave me like a roasted chicken. That chicken was so good. And I had that before I left the hospital, so that chicken was immaculate. That chicken was too good. You guys are like far. Come closer, my friends. Food was bussin', stayed for 2 nights. The only thing that like not bothering me, but I was like, damn guys, I'm tired. The staff, they just kept knocking on the hello. But yeah, I was exhausted. I was filling out forms, doing X, Y, and Z. My man and I, we were just like this, like whatever. My man is a heavy sleeper, so I know he slept more than me in that hospital. My first shower was kind of uncomfortable because I still had my IV in. Because I had that fever, I needed to keep the IV in until I left so they could keep putting antibiotics in my system and all of that blah blah blah. They did tests on the baby, hearing perfect, everything perfect. My baby is just perfect. They had to do this thing with the foot, like it's called like a newborn screening. I felt so bad. Mind you, we had to redo that shit because they didn't do it right in the hospital. And even the second time, like I felt so bad because my baby was screaming at the top of his lungs. Like I felt so bad. Anyways, first night in the hospital was kind of difficult because I didn't understand what he needed. You know what I'm saying? I checked his diaper, his poop was good. When he peed for the first time, we were so fucking excited. So now I'm gonna get into the feeding journey. In the hospital, he latched on here and there, but not really. Like he would like suck for 5 seconds and then like just like fall asleep. So then the nurses were telling me like, okay, he needs to actually eat. So we introduced him to some formula. We tried the Similac, he didn't like it, and then we gave him Infamil and he liked that one. But I was still trying to latch him on. I think like the second night, I'm getting comfy. I think it was the second night, he latched on way better. But unfortunately, my breastfeeding journey didn't last long. Just because I feel like also, number one, I feel like if I would go back in time, I would try harder. But at the same time, he was not, what's the word, like receptive of my boob. And like my boob, I have like this TMI, like flat boobs. Like they have to get hard. You know how some people nipples just be like out? Mine don't. So with the shape of my boob and like his mouth didn't open all the way, how was he gonna suck on a nipple that's not poking out? So we had our little struggles there. So then when we got home, I tried to latch him on and stuff, and he was just not fucking with it. So what the hell was I gonna do force him. In that moment I was just exhausted and stuff. The formula was there, so we gave him the formula, but then also my milk started coming in, so I tried to get him on the boob. He would suck for 5 seconds, not get anything out of it because again it wasn't deep enough in there. And so I would pump at first and I started getting more milk. This is it's kind of sad to talk about because I really wanted to breastfeed, but like I said, fed is best. And maybe I'll try again with my next child. Like, it's not that serious, it's okay. My baby is good and healthy. So we started doing combo feeding. Then we ended up just giving him all of the breast milk that I was producing was enough for the day and enough for tomorrow. Like, I was overproducing in the beginning because he was only drinking 1.5 to 2 ounces. So then after a while of being home, I ended up getting a fever, and I was like kind of nervous about that because I didn't know if it was because of I got sick from somebody visiting me or I got sick because of my postpartum and stuff. So I had a fever for like 3 days, and eventually I was like, okay, I need to go get checked. Part of me wishes I never went to go get checked because that fucked up my milk supply. But then a part of me is grateful that I did go get checked because better safe than sorry. So that day I didn't think I was gonna spend so much time in the hospital. I didn't pump for like that whole day. My boobs were killing me. They were so engorged. But then I guess I was like leaking, whatever. So when it comes to pumping, it's like supply and demand. If you're not taking out, your body's gonna think you good, bro. Your body's gonna think that you don't need to take out the milk or you don't need to produce more, if that makes sense. It's a supply and demand thing. So at that point I was like exclusively pumping. He was getting enough milk. He was, like I said, overproducing for the next day. I was so excited. And yeah, when I went to the hospital, it fucked up my milk supply. When I pumped the next day, I didn't get what I would normally get, and I said, whoa, what the fucky. So then I had to introduce more formula. So it makes me fed is best, but at the end of the day I wanted him to be mainly off my breast milk, like whether it was him breastfeeding or getting it pumped into a bottle. We're still working on that journey. He's only 2 days ago, he's 2 months old based off the date, but based off weeks, today he's 9 weeks old. Today's Friday. Yesterday he's 9 weeks old. So I still have time to like figure out my milk supply. Right now I'm getting into the feeding, so I guess this part of my video is my postpartum update. So right now we're still doing combo feeding, so we do every other feeding, so formula, breast milk, formula, breast milk, because I make enough to feed that way. Like I said, I'm working on boosting my milk supply. I've tried things here and there, like drinking watermelon juice, drinking more water. What else did I try? Body armors. I haven't done body armor in a minute though. I think I'm gonna get some body armor. I'm probably gonna order it on Amazon because I'm not going outside. I'd rather just oh, speaking of Amazon, I ordered something. Let me see if, speaking of breast milk stuff, I ordered these let me see. I ordered these like pills that help boost the milk supply, supposedly. What? This is arriving set. Oh yeah, it did say the 11th. I thought today was the 11th. Oops. Anyway, so like I said, my milk supply is still not up. Like when I pump, right now he's drinking 3.5 ounces. 3 ounces to 3.5 ounces. Sometimes, occasionally, I would do a 4 ounce, and sometimes he would drink the 4, but mostly he does 3.5, because yeah, he does 3 to 3.5 ounces. And every time I pump, well, my first pump of the day, sometimes I make 4 ounces or 3 ounces, and then like throughout the day I pump like 2 ounces, 3 ounces, 1.5. Like, it's just not. Oh, that's also something that happened in the hospital. He was not trying to wake up to feed, so that was also kind of stressful for me because I was tired as hell. But like I could have just put an alarm. I don't know, I was just like every 5 seconds checking the time, like, oh, is he gonna up, whatever. So anyways, back to my feeding journey. So I ordered these pills. Is the Legendary Milk Liquid Gold Lactation Support lactation supplement with organic goat's rue, milk thistle, shatavari, fennel, alfalfa, and anise. I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyways, so basically I heard that you take 3 of those a day. It's like, hold on, he's like moving. I ordered those pills because I keep seeing it on TikTok. It's a 60 count. You're supposed to take 3 a day with meals. I think that's what it said. Probably won't see results the same day, probably take a couple days, but it's like a 10-day supply. I'm gonna see if this shit works. If not, I'm gonna try to keep up what I'm doing and at least maintain the supply that I have, because I want to at least give him breast milk up until at least 5 months, but since he's already 9 weeks old, maybe I can extend it to maybe a year, because it's breast milk has a lot of antibodies and all of these things that help protect his immune system and stuff. So that's the only reason why I want to give him the breast milk and stuff. I'm not bashing formula fed babies, formula feeding moms, none of that stuff, but you know, the research is there. But also do what's good for your mental health. If I was just producing 1 ounce of breast milk, I would possibly just stop, because it just makes no sense. Like, I'm doing all of this work, pumping for half an hour for it to, I actually have to pump. Now I'm gonna pump right after this I start recording. Right now I'm not like on a tight schedule. I just pump whenever I have a moment, because sometimes he's very needy, sometimes he's not, and since I'm combo feeding, I have that like freedom to just pump when I get a chance. Some days when I have the extra help, I go like on a schedule like every 3 hours, stuff like that. But all in all, I pump like the same amount regardless of like when I do it. So the journey right now is to kind of get my milk supply up. Some people have seen like an extra ounce. That would be perfect for me. Even if it's just 1 extra ounce, that's perfect. I will take anything. I would take an extra drop. I don't care. The goal right now is to exclusively pump, and for him to exclusively drink breast milk. But right now we're combo feeding, and it is what it is. He likes the formula. It works fine for him. At first, when we were first doing both, like, he was a little gassy and it was like uncomfortable for him, and he was like constipated one moment, but now he's good. He's been pooping every day. He's good. He's getting used to it. He's learning how to fart on his own. Good. Learning how to, sometimes he burps on his own, and he's only 2 months. It's just crazy. I'm trying to think what else when it comes to feeding. I tried to latch him on the boob the other night when like he was like kind of sleepy. I put on a nipple shield that he did eat from my boob for a minute, so I think he's open to the concept of breastfeeding. But mentally, I just, once he gets to fussing, you gotta have a bottle on deck, and it's just like, not that I don't want to, but it doesn't make sense for my lifestyle, if that makes sense. I have to go back to work soon. He has to be fed from bottles regardless, because he can't get my boob 24/7. So for him to learn how to breastfeed right now makes no sense. It makes sense in my brain, and it's kind of more convenient for him to be in bottles, like to drink from bottles, so that I can get help and rest and stuff like that. But the goal is for him to just drink breast milk, and if not, if it's formula, it's gotta be formula, as long as your baby eats. When it comes to my body, I have a little bit of not body dysmorphia, because I still look at my body and I be like, oh, she look good, you know. Like, for me to have a kid, I feel like I look very good. When it comes to my weight, maybe this is trigger warning, talking about weight and body image, I'm only like 5 pounds away from my pre-pregnancy weight, which is crazy to me. I'm thinking the pumping journey, because I'm burning a lot of calories out and stuff. I haven't worked out yet. I've gone on minor walks. Like, I haven't like said, oh, let me go like on a long ass. So I haven't done anything actually. Picking up around the house, I only wore a belly band for like 5 minutes. I wore a waist trainer for like 30 minutes one time. I haven't done much. I want to try to start waist training, but I do have like a small mommy pouch, but not really. You guys will see when I show you guys in the vlog and stuff, because right now I'm in a robe. I'm not gonna show you my body right now, but it's just kind of difficult right now. I tell myself, I try to give myself some grace. I am only 9 weeks postpartum. Yeah, my clothes don't fit me right. Some of the clothes, they don't, my jeans don't close. And at first, right now I'm okay with it. At first I was like, damn, like what the hell am I gonna wear? I found some dresses, but then since I'm breastfeeding basically pumping, my boobs leak, so I have to have a bra on all the time. It's just like, it was like a kind of a weird adjustment at first. Now I'm okay. Like, in this moment I'm okay. See, I went to Burlington yesterday. I got me a t-shirt, I got me a nice dress. Like, I'm just learning that I have to accommodate to what my body is giving now, and it's still giving. Don't fucking play with me. But you know, it's just not what it used to be before. Now I have stretch marks on my belly. I have the mommy marks. I have stretch marks on my thighs now that weren't there before. I have stretch marks on the side of my like belly and stuff. Like, I have stretch marks on my boobs. Like, it changed, my body changed, but I've come to terms with it. I think today, I feel like last week I was probably a little bit sad about it. I was like, fuck, none of my clothes, blah blah blah, but I just had a baby, and I think I still look good. And women out there who are having their first baby, don't think about it too much, because a body is just a body. Give yourself some grace. Like, you just gave birth, you just grew a whole human. Be nice to yourself, because I wish somebody would have told me, like, be nice to yourself. It's just a body. Like, come on. You could go to the gym, you could get surgery, you could get a body, you could get it fixed. Like, you'll be fine. We'll be fine. Depression. So I didn't realize at first, but I am going through postpartum depression, a slight case of postpartum depression. I got like evaluated by my my insurance. They said like a nurse, like I had like a video call, I had to answer some questions and stuff. She was like, oh, you're like borderline postpartum depression, whatever. When the baby first came home and stuff, I found myself like crying, and like, because I was confused and like, I don't know how to help him. I just fed him, I just burped him, I just changed him, I'm trying to soothe him, he's still crying. Like, it was just like a lot of things that I was like, fuck, am I not built for this? Am I not a good mom? Like, I was just like being very hard on myself in the beginning of this journey. Now that's my fucking son. Like, we good. We, you know, he be crying here and there, he be fussing, but we figured out his cues, his cry sounds and all that stuff. My man and I, first in the beginning, I'm gonna be real transparent, I had like resentment towards my boyfriend because like, I don't want to cry about it, but I feel like people can relate. That's the only reason why I'm gonna talk about it. But it's like, nobody will ever understand what it feels like to be the mom, you know? Like, not only am I recovering, like my vagina is split, I'm bleeding, my hormones are all over the place. Not only is that happening, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I can't even like, I don't see myself, like especially in the first couple of days. I'm like, yo, this doesn't even feel like me. Not only do you have to all of those things in mind, but you have to learn how to take care of a whole human, especially as a first-time mom. Like, I didn't know what the hell was happening, and he would try to help me and stuff, but there was like a part of my brain where I just wanted to do it all. I just felt like I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. No, like, you allow yourself to be helped, allow yourself, because you cannot do it all by yourself. And like, in a way, when I was trying to do it all by myself, I felt like I had like resentment towards like him, in a way where I'm like, but you don't have to wake up in the middle of the night to feed, when he could have, when, you know, he offered, he said like, oh, I'll wake up and feed him, I'll do this, I'll do that. I hope that's making sense. Like, it's not that people weren't trying to help me, I wasn't allowing anybody to help me, and then I would get mad when people weren't helping me. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, 2 + 2 is not equaling 4 right now, they said. So yeah, I was like really upset with like the whole world in the beginning, because I was like, fuck, like y'all are never gonna understand what I'm going through. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I would be tight like when he would like be able to like go to the store just freely, when I had to do 5 million things before even stepping out the door. Like, it was just like, I felt like, damn, I wish I could sleep in, I wish I could do this, I wish I could, you know, because especially my baby was very clingy in the beginning. Like, he did not want to be put down whatsoever. So I just had like a rough time in the beginning, like kind of understanding that like, he can be put down, he can cry for 5 seconds while I fix his bottle, because, you know what I'm saying, like, now I'm realizing, like, you know, stop being so fucking hard on yourself. So I feel like my depression is getting better, but there are moments where I catch myself like, fuck, like I'm sad right now, fuck, like, and I don't know why, because I'm so like, when I tend to my son and like talk to him and like play with him and do what I need to do, I'm so happy. I love my son. It's not like, it's not him whatsoever. I just feel sad like within myself, and it's just like an unexplained feeling. Like, I don't, like, there's no reason for me to feel sad, like nothing. My man doing such a great job being a dad now. We had hiccups because we're both learning and stuff, but he's doing such a great job helping me. My mom, she would help me so much. I get frustrated when I didn't fit in my clothes and stuff, but it's just like, is it that serious? Not that serious. I don't know. Some days, like I said, some days are better than others. Recently, I got a little sad because I just feel lonely in this experience. Not at home, but just like within myself, where it's like, I hope that makes sense. Like, it's just like a very isolating experience. That makes sense. Like, this human, this little man right here needs me for every single thing. Like, he needs me for everything. Sometimes it's like overwhelming. It's like, damn, like I have like a very important role, which, you know, I signed up for and I enjoy and I love it stuff. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, but it's like I'm doing something so important, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I have so much pressure. I hope all of that makes sense. This is what I mean by like I be rambling and stuff. So recently I've been allowing people to help me because I realized like I need a break, and that doesn't mean that I don't love my son, but if I could take an extra 15 minutes in the shower, that brings me so much peace and happiness. If my mom wants to watch him, you can watch him for a couple of hours or whatever. It's overwhelming sometimes to just be needed 24/7, you know? I love my son, don't get me wrong. So I appreciate my man, my sister, my mom for helping me through this time, because it hasn't been easy. And like for anybody or my family members who give me advice and stuff, my cousin's telling me to go outside, take a walk, stuff. I've been doing that. Like what I'm trying now that my mom went to DR, is kind of like I have to figure out this mom stuff by myself, like physically. You know, I can call her and ask like, oh, what can I do, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful that I have that, but at the end of the day I have to learn how to do this shit, you know. When it comes to depression, they said I have a mild case, and some days are better than others, like I said, but we're doing okay. I'm going to get back on my content shit, because like I said, my channel, like I always talk about in my channel, was made for my mental health, so I could just talk and let things out and release, and hopefully some people can relate, and you know, build a nice community here and stuff. So things are gonna be okay. My baby's healthy, I'm healthy, my household is healthy. Get some hobbies, do something fun, watch a movie, go on a walk, just let your mind breathe, because things are gonna be okay. The last thing I have on my list is like appointments and like learning how to be a mom. Somebody who, I have like a mild case of anxiety here and there. I don't even like ordering my own food sometimes. So now that I have to like make appointments, like I'm really an adult right now. Right now I'm fine with it. Like in the beginning I was just like, fuck, like I was telling my mom like, oh, can you make the appointment? And she's like, no, you gotta do it. And now like I feel like those little things like make me feel like an adult for real. Like not having the baby didn't make me feel like an adult. No, making appointments makes me feel like. But it's just like, it's such a weird thing to like call and like, oh, I'm making an appointment for my son. Like I really have a son. It's crazy. This video is probably lengthy, but it's fine. It's my update. These past 2 months have been the greatest 2 months of my life. I go to work soon, and I don't know what that routine is gonna look like. I honestly don't want to go back to work, because I just want to take care of my baby. Honestly, we gotta do what we gotta do. Bills need to be paid. It makes me sad that I'm gonna be like gone for half of the day, but I know that his father got this. We're both first-time parents and we're learning and stuff, but I know we got this. I guess I could introduce my son. My son's name is Damien. So if you made it to this point of the video, you guys know my name. My son's name is Damien. In Spanish pronounced Damian, because his dad's name, it rhymes with his dad's name. You know, it's cute. And his dad picked his name. I thought about the name because his dad's name starts with an E. So we were looking for like E names, and we were just not like E or L names, because you know, our name or his name, but we was not feeling nothing. I thought of the name Damien like a couple days before my man had mentioned it, but I never said it out loud to anyone, because it started with a D. So I was like, oh, I don't know, like it rhymes with his name, but like maybe he might not like it, so I didn't even bring it up. And then randomly he was on the couch, I was sitting on the kitchen table, and he was like, how about the name Damien? I said, I love it, live it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Because what was important to me was a name that could be pronounced in English, pronounced in Spanish, and it sounded cute in both English and Spanish, because I wanted my parents to be able to pronounce it properly. I wanted schools and stuff to be able to pronounce my son's name properly, because my name, I love my name, but nobody knows how to pronounce my name. It's Lisette. They say Lisette, Lisette, Lisette. My name is really easy, so I just wanted my son to have like a really simple name, because Damien is a simple name. I love his name. I wanted, okay, like I said, English sounded cute, Spanish sounding cute, schools, family, be able to pronounce it. Why is this battery about to say that? Those things. And then I wanted a strong masculine name, since he's a boy. You know, like I have nothing against, you know, boys named, I don't even know what's a name, but I wanted him to have a strong manly name. That makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I like the name Damien. Damien to me, also what was important to me when it came to naming my son was a name that could grow with him, like age gracefully. Because imagine like an old person named Sugar. That's cute and quirky and stuff, but like be fucking for real. You know what I'm saying? Like be fucking serious. A baby named I'm not trying to comfort people's names and stuff, but there's like some babies with old ass people names, and there's some old ass people with some kid names. So it's like I wanted a name that sounded like cute for all ages, like a baby boy Damien, a kindergartner Damien, a teenager Damien, like oh he gonna be killing shit, yeah, an adult like in the workforce Damien. Like that's a strong, to me my son's name is strong as fuck. An old person named Damien, like that's like, I feel like his name ages gracefully. So yeah, I'm thinking about our next kid's name. I don't know, maybe we might do D names. But if it's a girl, maybe she gonna have a D name, maybe she gonna have an L name, or maybe she gonna have something that rhymes with my name. That would be cute because his name rhymes with his dad. So but realistically, my man thinks that like we're not gonna have a girl ever. But y'all pray for us because low-key I want a daughter, but I would be fine with a household full of boys. So if I have a son, whatever God wants to give me next, I don't care. I don't care. I just know like I'm so happy. This video is long enough. That was my labor and delivery story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My postpartum updates, my recovery and stuff, whatever the case may be. The hoo-hats is perfect. She's fine. She healed perfectly fine. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers like I said earlier. Next video, we're going to be back to our vlogging, back to our regular scheduled programming, and I'm going to show you guys my day-to-day experience being a mom and doing whatever the fuck I do. All jokes aside, thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking my videos. Thank you for saying congratulations under my last video and just congratulating me throughout my whole experience. It really means a lot because in real life I don't have like lots of friends and stuff. The little friends that I do have, I appreciate them so much, but like random people and stuff like behind the screen, it really does mean a lot that some of you people can relate to my videos, my experiences and stuff, and that we have built a little community here. So I hope that we can continue to grow this little community that we have and just enjoy whatever my life brings for entertainment for you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you guys next time.